Bless up, bless up, bless all the way up. It's your boy Change Agent Cooper coming to you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Make sure you like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell for notifications so you can be alerted when this content is coming out. I got a lot to say and I'm gonna say it. I got a lot of experience, strength, and hope, and I'm gonna share it. For me not to, that would be blasphemy. Well, I've created a page, a LinkedIn page for Operation Gateway on LinkedIn. Now that I'm the executive director, I want to make sure there's transparency about Operation Gateway. Make sure there's visibility, you dig? Make sure people know who we are, what we up to, what we do, what we're about. You know, hold us accountable. You know what I'm saying? We're that type of nonprofit. We want eyes on us. We want eyes on us so that people can see what's going on and where the gaps are at and how they can help. But when I went to click on the page this morning, I was stretching at the gym and I went to check out the page because I have not posted anything from the Operation Gateway page yet. And on LinkedIn, you know, when you go to the page, they have like different questions that are on the screen, you dig? Like it'll ask, when you click on the page, they ask like, you know, how do you address donor expectations, or it was something on there about fundraising. But the question that caught my attention that led me to doing this post was, it asked, how can nonprofits promote government transparency? It asked, how can nonprofits promote government transparency? And so when I seen that question, I wanted to dive right in and put it on my YouTube channel, because this is exactly what's going on in the life of Change Agent Cooper right now. And this is what has been going on, just to be clear, for the past, you know, we can go back to my community college days, you know, learning about resources, you know, working for programs and trying to make sure that people in our communities knew about those programs. And so let's talk about one on the governmental side. Let's talk about economics, baby. Let's talk about economics. Let's talk about transparency as it relates to economics, workforce development, employment, and training, you dig? And so one way that the nonprofit can promote transparency is by, you know, being a major contributor to an ecosystem. So when I use the word ecosystem, I like to use the analogy of Power Rangers with the Megazord. That analogy right there is what led to me having a relationship with the Appalachian Regional Commission, who has, you know, they have invested a significant amount of money into Western North Carolina by way of the Megazord analogy, to address, you know, substance use disorder and its impact, the opioid epidemic's impact on the economy. But anyway, when we start talking about the ecosystem, you dig, and we start talking about nonprofits being at the table as a contributor, you know, at the ecosystem, the nonprofit brings connections to communities, especially when you start talking about, you know, governmental resources like WIOA and vocational rehabilitation. You know, these are some resources that have been underutilized by certain communities. There's been reports out talking about, you know, racial disparities within apprenticeships within WIOA. And so when you start looking at those reports, you know, you can sit back and you can just complain, or you can try to figure out a way to get active, innovate ways to include all people. And so that's what a nonprofit comes in at, and that's what we've been doing. So just to be clear, it's not just theory coming from your boy. This is something that's happening right now, you did. Like the nonprofit comes in, the nonprofit helps raise awareness about these resources, help people know what Workforce Innovative Opportunity Act is, help people understand what the process is of gaining those resources, you know, help them obtain vital records, help them you know, even educating employers about on-the-job training contracts, educating people about what a dislocated worker is. You know, these are a significant amount of resources, a big pot of funding that has been put out in the world to help these people who are marginalized, who are underemployed, who are oppressed, who are you know, living in communities where, you know, they're just underrepresented, they don't have connections. And so that's where the nonprofit comes in. And how they promote transparency is by being a megaphone, amplifying the voice of those gatekeepers. You know, when I say gatekeeper, I don't want it to always have a negative connotation to it. Some people have to be the gatekeeper because you have to be a good steward of the resources, you see? So when I say gatekeeper, if you're under the sound of my voice right now, I hope you don't feel offended, because somebody has to be a gatekeeper to resources. You have to be a good steward, you know, because everybody's not ready. People have to be vetted, you know. And so where the nonprofit comes in at, that's where we come in at, as far as like engaging the community, authentic community engagement. You know, community health workers, a major contributor. I will be speaking at the NC Works conference about community health workers' role in the workforce development space. But that's where the community health workers come in at, with vetting people, authentic community engagement. I mean, community health workers even participate in community diagnosis with public health experts, so that shows that they are major contributors to the whole person. And economic stability is a determinant of health. So when we start talking about workforce development resources and promoting governmental transparency, then we see that it is just imperative that you include community health workers and nonprofits, community-based organizations in your grant seeking, in your program building, to make sure that you don't leave people out. And if what you was doing before was leaving people out, it's time to do something different. Because if you keep doing what you always done, guess what? You're going to keep getting what you always got. And so, long-winded to answer that question from my perspective as it relates to the resources I've been working with, and that was on the workforce development side. Let's transition and go to talking about behavioral health resources. What role does the nonprofit play in promoting transparency with the behavioral health resources? A significant amount of people that I know, they haven't even knew exactly what vocational rehabilitation offered. You see? And so they didn't even know. Like, I just found out within the past 2 years that vocational rehabilitation has on-the-job training contracts themselves, and they have paid internships. And like I say, this is not theory. I'm telling y'all something that I have done, that I have overseen, I have signed timesheets for. And so when I found out about these resources, it is up to me to be a good community leader and make sure that other people know about these resources so people can level up in life and get the support that they need. You dig? And that's what the nonprofit does to promote transparency with governmental resources, making sure people know about what's coming up, making sure people know about, these food banks, making sure people know about scholarships, making sure people know about training opportunities, making sure people know about these programs to help them get their medications. I mean, it's all kind of governmental resources that are gatekept by governmental staff who are, bound to their offices and their cubicles. You dig? And so you have to partner with nonprofits, community-based organizations, to make sure that the message gets to the communities, especially in the marginalized communities, because a lot of times those people are underconnected, disconnected, underrepresented, and that never has a good outcome. So I hope you heard me answer that question, just to say that nonprofits play a major role in making sure people don't get left behind. So as you build your programs, whether it's for recovery, reentry, workforce development, housing, whatever it may be, apprenticeships, mentorship, make sure that you have connections with community-based organizations that have connections to the marginalized communities that you're tired of leaving behind. That's my answer to that question on LinkedIn. My name is Change Agent Cooper. I'm not the answer, but I'm for daggone sure the alternative. Bless up.